Hello, hello, Bearcat family. I am AB Stocks and joined today with assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, Abby Jump. Abby, welcome to another episode of Bearcat Basketball.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, how are you today?
I'm great. Fresh off of the first day of practice, so high energy, really excited.
Okay, how was it out there? High energy, what else?
Yeah, it's always a good opportunity to put together the summer practices and see what it looks like when you add additional time. Like I said, high energy and everybody's eagerness, willing to learn is always puts a good spin on the first day when you know you're around a group that want to be in the gym.
And this is your third season of first day of Bearcat basketball. Yeah. What is different now in year 3, the progression that you've seen?
Yeah, I think you're talking about Reagan Jackson being a huge leader for us. And in year 1, she's a freshman and learning behind Jillian Hayes in the group that we had. And to watch her lead this group of young freshmen and then transfers, I think there's just a lot of carryover, running similar things or just how we operate as a staff, how Trina coaches. It's a big carryover with that. A little bit easier teaching-wise when you have returners that know your style. So it just feels different. It feels the youth is really cool to have those 6 freshmen, like I said, eager to learn. There's a certain thing in the air that you can't really put your finger on it, but it feels different. It's a really exciting time.
So 6 freshmen, 2 transfers, that's a total of 8 newcomers with the returners. In addition to Reagan Jackson, who, of course, everyone can relate to her energy. Who else was bringing that leadership and that energy on the court today?
Destiny Thomas. Destiny has been with us, obviously transferred from Memphis, and she was there for a year with us, so she knows how we are as well. But she's leading, and has a lot of experience with what is needed in certain situations. She says the right things when it's needed to be said. In moments she doesn't say anything, but her actions lead the way. So that's been really cool to see her just grow and mature and finally be back full speed on the court. And then you have like a Ramaya and Delaney, who also are returners that have just been vital with it. There being lack of turnover in certain areas in terms of the culture. Our culture would not be where it is today without all of the returners, Ali and Diba as well. Just to see them full speed and out there together and being upperclassmen, they all lead in their own way. It's been vital.
And you got a little bit of a sneak peek of this energy and practice with the summer preparation and the Italy trip.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was awesome. It was just cool to see from the side, just the team bond. And thankfully for the donors and our administration for allowing us to go. When you have those young kids, to be able to play against someone else that's not each other or our practice players and see what lineups will look like, see how deep we are. When you are in a game situation and there are refs and you have on a jersey, you see what people default to. So it was a great chance for us as coaches just to lay everything out on the table and see that. But for the team, for them to bond, be in a different country, provide that experience for some of our players who have not been out of the States, and an opportunity to see what it would be like to play professionally in some of these areas as well. I think that's really important. We have a big group of players that want to play pro.
And Cincinnati has a tradition of producing high-quality pros. From the recruiting angle, how much of the foreign trip to Italy do you think is a selling point? Because this is a day and age where a lot of schools are shying away from taking those foreign tours or don't have the resources and the investment in the program to allow that to happen.
Yeah, with the 25 class and with the transfers, it was huge. Telling them that you're going to have an opportunity to put on a jersey and prepare even earlier and sooner to be around your team was huge in the recruitment of that class. Knowing that we were going to bring in a big class of that size, 5 to 6, obviously with Kylie being a late addition, giving them the opportunity as freshmen and that not be when they're juniors or seniors. It was a huge piece in their conversations with them and their families of we can provide the experience, the package of let's take you overseas so you can see what it would be like to be in Europe and playing, give you the opportunity to bond, have chemistry early with this group. We talked about it a lot. And like you said, not a lot of people were doing it. So again, having the administration and the donors and the people to support us and provide us that experience, and then the help in recruiting was massive. It set us apart for sure.
What were some of the highlights from Italy for you personally?
I think the biggest one, again, was just watching the team see new things, whether it was cooking, the boat tour, walk into a gym. They didn't know what to expect, what any of the gyms would look like. Exploring the streets, and hearing their different stops. I know they did a lot of shopping, which was a lot of fun to see too. I love the water, so the boat tour was amazing for me. I could be out there all day.
And a little birdie says you could also be in the gym all day. Is that right?
A little birdie. I think I can guess what little birdie that is. But yes. Yeah, I could be in the gym all day.
So take us through your role as assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. What does that look like, and what are some of your responsibilities?
As an assistant coach, obviously my first and foremost biggest job and responsibility is to support Trina. Whatever she needs in whatever area. Our whole staff is that way, but I work with the tweeners, so the wings that may need development in whether it's ball handling or finishing, where they kind of float around because they're so athletic that they can play multiple positions. I work with that group, and then I also work with the shooters. So Reagan, Maya, Paige, and then Callie and Joya float back and forth with me as well. So 2 different position and skill groups. I enjoy that. I love it. And then with recruiting, just making sure everything's organized when it comes to every single visit, unofficial or official, making sure that everybody is seeing who we need to see, finding the hidden gems. I think the really cool part about being at Cincinnati and having the Big 12 logo and the Jordan logo and how prolific the CPAL is across the country is you can get your foot in any door with any kid. I think the proof in the pudding is, with our 25 class. But the really cool part is still digging in deep and going to those gyms and sitting on the floors that no one else is at and trying to find a hidden gym that fits who we are, fits our culture, would fit Cincinnati, fit our Bearcat family, and will help move this program along. So I spent a lot of hours on that, and I would not change it. I absolutely love being the recruiting coordinator. It's what I've wanted to do. Trina was the recruiting coordinator at Wright State, and so I got to see her and all the hours she put in, and so I just wanted to have a chance to do that.
And you bring up Wright State. You were a student athlete at Wright State. Mm-hmm. Coach Merriweather was an assistant coach on that staff. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Yeah, I was going to play for Mike Bradbury at Morehead State, who also was one of Trina's assistant coaches here. And when he got the job at Wright State, there was something about him and his staff that I just had to play for him. So when he got the job, I just asked if I could go. Never knew where Wright State was. I've never seen it. He got the job. I went with him, and he hired Trina as an assistant. So I've known her since I was about 16, going on 17 years old, and was with her for all 4 years. I'm sure sometimes she still looks at me like I'm that little kid, because I grew a lot there, and I knew I wanted to be a coach really young. And so those years in college, being able to shadow her and her allowing me to spend so much time just around her behind the scenes recruiting, I don't know if I would necessarily be in this position now if it wasn't for her then.
That's beautiful. And so then we look up today, and you are in your 8th season with Coach Merriweather as a coach, in addition to the 4 years as a player. Yeah. So now tell us a little bit of inside scoop on Coach Merriweather, things that only a former player would know.
Well, I don't think there's no inside scoop I could give you in terms of I'm trying to get her on the golf course. I'm working on that diligently year by year, trying to get her out there. But she's always been just steadfast and the most genuine person, not just coach, but the person I've ever been around. Just the thought, and I can give you this example, the thought of when she left Wright State for Memphis, and my family's first call was, you're going to go, right? Because we have to see Trina. We love Trina. And so the who she is, not just to me, but like to my family, I think says everything. You know, she's just very genuine and authentic, and has provided me an experience and opportunity that is second to none for sure.
So you brought up the word family.
Mm-hmm.
When you think family, let's go 3 levels here. First, let's talk about your family of origin
Mm-hmm.
and how they influenced the coach and the woman you are today.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I fought it probably for a long time of being a coach, because my grandpa was a football coach and won state championships, and then my dad was a basketball coach and won at a high level in high school as well. And so I think that shadow of, like, I don't know if I can be at the same level or win at the way that you guys both did, made me probably try to run away from it for a little bit, but it's in my blood. So the influence of them and who I watched them be around their players and how much their players like love them. My grandpa passed in right after COVID, and to see the turnout of the players that showed up for his funeral was just another reminder of, like, this is so much bigger than just a sport and you coaching it. So heavy influence from him on wanting to be a coach. And then my mom taught me how to be even keel, which has paid dividends in coaching and recruiting and building relationships. So although she didn't play or coach, she taught me how to build relationships with anyone and how to be able to walk into any room and fight and be competitive in her own right.
Beautiful. And then let's take family now to the role of a coach with her players.
Mm-hmm. Well, we always talk about Ubuntu and the sisterhood. And I think those things play into the family as well. I am who I am because of who we all are is Ubuntu, and we use that heavily at Wright State, and it just came with us everywhere. But family means taking care of each other, even when things are not good, even when you're unable to get on the same page sometimes. You fight for the person next to you, and we follow Trina's lead on that. Everything she does is about family. Obviously, we have a legitimate sisterhood situation, and it's been everything to see. And it's not just a facade, and it's not just to be able to say it. We're truly a family, and our players and their people in Circle, when we sign them, we sign their families, and they become ours. It leads us in everything we do.
And then with the University of Cincinnati, when you think about the athletic department, the leadership, just the entire group, how does family fit in?
Yeah, well, I mean, you have an alum at the head spot, right? And you bring Trina back, and to watch Trina and Maggie and their relationships, them all the way back to their playing days here, is really cool to see. And when Trina talks about her time as a Bearcat and when her teammates come back and Coach Pirtle is in the gym, I think that says everything in terms of family. Is if you've worn a Bearcat uniform, you are family. And the way that we have an open door policy because of Trina and the way that she operated, because of how Lori operated. It's a really cool situation. You bring back Anna Owens, who's a Bearcat. I think having the opportunity to coach at my alma mater, I know how special that is and how important it is to walk around with what you also played in. So I don't take for granted the opportunity to represent a university that Trina played for, that Anna played for. And And when I'm around her teammates, like, I feel that love. That is really cool. It's something that doesn't go away. And I think it's really special moving forward, too, with the 25 class. You know, them seeing Trina's teammates and coaches and how people come back. Again, we lead with family, and it's not a facade.
The term sisterhood is, as you mentioned, it's not just a buzzword. It is truly the identity of the culture that Coach Merriweather lives, irregardless, so to speak, of where she's coaching. But to have that sisterhood thriving at the University of Cincinnati is special. But the actual coined term sisterhood, how did you spark that?
It's a long time now, but when we were playing at Wright State, going into, I believe it was my junior year, we had won a conference championship, and I vividly remember Simone Denham and I were teammates at that time, being in the locker rooms and like, this is forever. Like, we just won X amount of games in this championship, but this circle that we have in this locker room is a sisterhood, and it's forever. And then after that, we just kind of rolled with it. And when I got back to Wright State and when Trina hired me there, just thinking about what do we want to put on, whether it's gear or pictures, walls. And I just said, well, when we were here, we called ourselves the sisterhood. And said, honestly, it probably started when you got the job. And I think we just coined it from there. Since she was hired at Wright State, it's become the sisterhood, because Trina has a way of, even players that played at Wright State prior to her being an assistant, they came back as if they played for her. And so when we went to Memphis, the same thing. The people that were on staff, of anyone who's taken a job, you know, Ryan Paul has taken another job to move on in his career path, but he was the brother of our sisterhood, you know, and that is something that extends and will always be with us. And when we talk about it in recruiting, it's, again, we want to know when you're getting married. We want to know when you get a job. We want to be a part of different celebrations. That's the sisterhood. It's not about wins or losses or the gear or anything like that. It's more of a feeling. It's a circle that you will have forever.
The circle at the University of Cincinnati on Alumni Day, one thing that I know that's always special is the alumni continue to come back, and the alumni presence is growing and growing. And Coach Merriweather has been very particular to note that even in the midst of transfer situations, all women who have worn the Bearcat jersey are a part of the sisterhood and are all welcome back for Alumni Day. With the way the landscape right now of college women's basketball, or just college sports period, with players coming in and going, how has UC been able to maintain some continuity and have some longevity with players desiring to play 4 or 5 years?
Well, I think one of the first questions we ask, and we have to find out in recruiting, is what is it that you want? What is it that you need in terms of the environment, the staff, the playing style? But the biggest thing for us, and sometimes I post it on my social media, a quote from Trina is the main thing, and the most important thing will always be that we want people who want to be Bearcats. And that's done through relationship building and through conversations and finding out what exactly that a PSA is looking for and their family is looking for in a program or a coaching staff, but making sure that at the top of their list is, I want to play for the University of Cincinnati. And it's easy to go and have those conversations when you do have Trina, who is an alum, who has worn the uniform, who, you know, is bringing back alums, who is bringing back Lori Pirtle into the circle and having her speak, and you hear and feel that you want players that want to be here. So we put a huge emphasis on that. And in recruiting, if they're uneasy or if they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's hard to say, but we move on, and we will find the people who want to be Bearcats. And I think that is honestly what provides the continuity and why we have little turnover, is because they truly want to be here. And we offer such a unique package, full package, in terms of course, basketball, the Big 12, Jordan brand, but you're talking what we provide academically, the services that we have with the academy. You're talking about the mental health resources that we have, of Lanisha and her being around, and you see and feel her, our full package is different. Our NIL department with Eddie Taylor, and obviously us hiring Simone Denham, our full package is different. So we have an opportunity to sell those pieces for sure, but it's a very authentic and genuine thing. We want you to be a Bearcat, and we have to know and feel that you want to be a Bearcat. And if you don't, that's okay. We believe that you always end up coaching who you're supposed to coach. You're always supposed to be in someone's life who you're supposed to be in. We believe that. So even on the hard or tough no's that we may get, there's always the yes that follows that says, I want to be a Bearcat. And so I think we do a pretty good job of finding those people that want to wear Cincinnati across their chest, that the good days, the bad days, and everything in between, we just figure it out because of what we all wear.
That's beautiful. One last question, Coach Jump. For 6 times, you have been named to the WBCA Top 30 Under 30 list that recognizes some of the best coaches in the country. Congratulations on 6 acknowledgments. Why Cincinnati? Why are you passionate with your coaching resume, with everything that you bring to the table? Why are you passionate about the University of Cincinnati? And what is the legacy that you hope to leave as an assistant coach and recruiting coordinator?
To start, it wasn't even a second thought to come here with Trina, to help her bring something back that she was a part of and then extend it. Those things are way more important than individual opportunities to me. As you start in this profession, in any profession, you have dreams, and there's different steps that you take to achieve those. But for me, I think after a handful of years being in the profession, and having the chance to coach at my alma mater and Trina bringing me back there, the dream is not necessarily a place, it's the people. And then you are around these people every day in a place like Cincinnati that means so much to Trina, that means so much to Brina. For her, she always tells the story about her seeing Trina and running up the steps by the Oscar statue. And when those things mean something to the people around you, you fight like that like it's your own. I walk around with pride with Cincinnati across my chest. Of course, because I work here, sure, but mostly and mainly for Trina and her experience and her love for Cincinnati and why she chose here. And then I get to meet her teammates and then meet Coach Pirtle after hearing so many stories about her and the opportunity that she gave Trina to start her career. I feel like it's part of my, journey as well, but I would hands down choose to do this all over again, pick this place with her, for her, 100 times over. The dream is not a destination or a school or a logo, it's the people. And, the people here, starting with Trina, that is the dream.